Today we're going to talk about obesity in America. This picture represents a glimpse of the future if we all don't take action. This picture is from the movie WALL-E, and for those of you that haven't seen it, WALL-E takes place in the year 2805, and due to decades of mass consumerism, the people of Earth completely trash Earth and are forced to leave it because it is unlivable. They leave it and go to live in an aircraft up in space, and on this aircraft they are all severely obese, like the people pictured here, and they sit in these chairs all day, and the chairs basically move them around by hovering them. They feed them, and they basically do everything for them. So the people are very lazy, and they can't even communicate face to face because the chairs will show a hologram of the other person, even if the person's right next to them, and it's kind of like a FaceTime type of thing. And they're too lazy, and they won't even look to the side if the person is right next to them. Our goal here today is to bring attention to the obesity epidemic here in the U.S., and we're going to talk about some of the ways that obesity is caused. And we know that it's a very complex issue, and sometimes the solution to it is hard to find. But we're going to talk about some of the possible solutions you can take to take action.
Okay, so what's the problem with obesity? For one, it's one of the biggest public health problems in America today, with 78 million adults and 13 million children being considered obese. Obesity affects the cost of healthcare and reduces productivity in the workplace. The total cost of medical care related to obesity is estimated to be between $147 to $210 billion, and the obese individual will spend $1,500 more in healthcare than the average American. And with these increased health problems comes more sick days, which in turn reduces the productivity in your work. Weight can be very hard to lose, no matter what size you are. If you're trying to lose 10 pounds or 200 pounds, it's not an easy task. Besides that, there is discrimination that comes along with obesity. If you're a child and you're overweight, you can get bullied at school. If you're older and you're overweight, you might be too afraid to go to the gym, so it can be very tough. And the biggest problem with obesity is that it's preventable. This isn't some genetic malfunction that you have no control over. Obesity is something that you can prevent.
So now that we know why obesity is a problem, we're going to talk about some of the causes of obesity. Some of these causes include lack of exercise, a poor diet, and a lack of nutritional knowledge, the prices of food, and your environment. The National Health and Nutrition Examination Survey showed that physical inactivity was strongly correlated with weight gain in both sexes. Now this shouldn't be surprising because an energy imbalance will cause you to gain weight, and what an energy imbalance is, it basically is very straightforward. It means your energy in does not equal your energy out. Your energy in comes from the foods you eat and the types of drink that you consume, and your energy out comes from various physical activity, and it even comes from breathing or walking or digesting. But when you are physically active, this is when your body burns the most amount of energy and burns the most amount of calories because your heart rate increases and therefore your muscles have to work harder to keep up. Physical activity will also lower your risk of heart disease, diabetes, stroke, high blood pressure, osteoporosis, certain cancers, and can also reduce your stress and boost your mood. And all of these have been directly linked to being overweight and obese. And in fact, an inactive lifestyle does the complete opposite of an active lifestyle. It will actually increase your chances of getting these various diseases. And even with all the benefits of exercising, people are still doing less of it. It's mostly because a lot of people work like in an office where they don't have to do any physical labor, or they rely on their cars to get to work. And many people just don't exercise at all. And according to Harvard, 1 in 3 people gets little, if any, physical activity, and the same amount, 1 in 3 people in the United States are overweight. And the fact that these two statistics are exactly the same is not a coincidence. It pretty much means that exercise is directly linked to being overweight. Lack of knowledge of food is another reason why people are overweight. Like I said, not being physically active alone won't cause you to be overweight, but an energy imbalance will. And energy in is basically just your calories, and a lot of people aren't aware of what they're putting into their bodies and what these foods are actually made of and the nutritional value that they hold. And this starts from a young age, as parents don't teach their kids about what healthy eating is and about nutritional foods that they can consume. And here's a video that shows how healthy kids have no idea what healthy eating is.
And now, a brand new sneak peek from Jamie Oliver's Food Revolution.
Hello.
Hello!
Hello, miss. There's loads to fix. The younger kids are really struggling, so I wanted to see if the kids even knew what fresh food looks like. Are you ready for my class?
We are ready! Welcome!
Thank you very much for that. How old are you guys? 6? Wow. I love working with kids. Elementary school is where it's at. You know, this is where you mould kids. We're going to do a little test. Right. Who knows what this is?
Potatoes.
Potato? So you think these are potatoes? Not potatoes, though. Do you know what this is? No? Who knows what tomato ketchup is? Yeah, that's what it's made out of.
Oh, tomato ketchup? I know that.
The test I did with the kids today was shocking. Do you know what that is? Do you know what that is?
Broccoli.
What about this? A good old friend. Do you know what this is, honey?
Celery.
No. What do you think it is, honey?
Onion.
Onion? No. Immediately you get a really clear sense of, do the kids know anything about where food comes from? Who knows what that is?
Pear.
A pear? No.
A turnip.
No. Okay, I'm going to give you the first word. Egg.
Egg. Egg salad.
The answer today was no.
Jamie Oliver's Food Revolution. Series premiere Friday, March 26, 9, 8 Central on ABC.
So how are kids expected to eat healthy if they don't even know what healthy food looks like or what it is? I can relate to this because my sister is a 9-year-old and her favorite foods include chicken nuggets, pizza, and pasta. And whenever my mom offers broccoli or some type of other vegetable, my sister will immediately make a noise and just reject it right away, even without trying it. All the foods that kids these days are eating are full of fat, sodium, calories, and simple carbohydrates. And all of these lead to more calories. So if they consume more calories, it'll create those energy imbalances that I've been talking about. And gradually, it'll cause weight gain and will eventually lead to being overweight.
As all we know, people they don't eat healthy food is the main cause of obesity, and except that not that reason, is the lack of knowledge about the food. There's another reason. It's also the price of food. It makes this people know like they should eat healthy food to keep fit, but they cannot afford healthy food at all because the healthy food is like much more expensive than the regular food. How expensive can that be? As common knowledge, the healthy food, for example, the organic food is like 50% more expensive than the regular food. And as my research in the local supermarket, I say if you want to buy organic chicken, it's like you need to pay almost double price compared with the regular one. It's the same thing to the organic fruit or organic other kind of food. Healthy food is more expensive anyway. But why the healthy food is so expensive? The main cause of this is that the healthy food costs more than the regular food. The company produce healthy food with more money, so of course they sell that for more money. And this money comes from the way the source of the healthy food come from, and many other factors. As a conclusion, it is very necessary for the healthy food to reduce their price, but the problem is the healthy food should not be that expensive, so more people can afford the healthy food, and so that while they eat healthy food, they can keep healthy and keep fit to avoid obesity. Another reason of the obesity is that environment. According to the research from Rob McNair from University of South California, the explosion in of organic rice and bisphenol A cause people to be fat. And another research with many institutions, including Peking University, Chinese Research Academy of Environmental Science, Duke University, Rutgers University, Imperial College, and Chinese Academy of Science. This research raised from the Yang Jie Wei with experiments of rats. They put rats into two groups, which one group of rats breathes the air from bathing, which is pretty much by the air, and another group of rats can breathe the fresh air from forest. And after some fixed period, the rats who breathe Peking's air gains more fat than the regular rats. So this just prove that the air pollution or even the smoking can make people be fat. And so if we protect the environment more to avoid air pollution, it's another way for us to be slim. And of course, there are other reasons, including the physical and social environment. The first one is in the modern society, people are living a fast lifestyle. People are already busy with their work or studies, so they want to save time to do their own business. For example, if they choose to eat fast food, they buy a burger in McDonald's. It only takes 5 minutes, and it also saves them a lot of money. So they eat fast food, they can save time and money. They can use the time and money saved to do other things. So people tend to choose this way because they are too busy. Another reason is like the social environment around people. People have friends. If every friends of them they eat fast food, they think this is more convenient for them. People will tend to eat the fast food or the junk food too, because like everyone else eat this kind of food. Why can't I do this? Another reason is just people they don't really care to be fat. People think obesity is not a big problem, but when they realize it's a big problem, it's very too late. People know this gene, but the people never exercise. People know it's not good to be fat, but they do not want to just work hard to resolve this. So that's the reason why people are so obsessed.
Okay, so what happens if we don't take any action? So if the current trends in America stay the same, it is expected that the obesity rate will increase. By 2030, it's projected that 44% of Americans will become obese. And in the states that already have the highest levels of obesity, 60% of those residents will become obese in less than 2 decades. They say that just having a little extra belly fat can cause health issues. So you can imagine that obesity causes much more deadly health problems. Some of them being heart disease, stroke, diabetes, asthma, infertility, and several different types of cancer. Along with obesity also comes a shortened lifespan. In some of the worst cases, shortening your life expectancy by 12 years. And if you were to develop one of the diseases I previously mentioned, you could even die sooner than that. And if someone who is dealing with obesity makes no changes in their lifestyle, they will continue to gain weight. And the heavier you get, the harder it is to make the changes. TLC has a show called My 600-Pound Life, where people get so bad that they can't bathe themselves, they can't walk, and they get very discouraged to make the changes in their life that need to be done. And it gets to the point where they need surgery or a medical procedure to kind of kickstart their weight loss.
So we know where the problem lies. The question is, how do we encounter it? Well, luckily FDA has already done most of the work. They came with 3 effective ways to encounter obesity. One of them is drugs or medications. The top one is orlistat, that is the number one FDA-approved drug for obesity. It has proven time by time that it is working on people that really need it. However, there is one downside. Those medications are not for children. They're only for adults, and these are the only 2 that are approved for adults. So don't take any medicines that are not approved, obviously. Although they are available, they're not covered by most of the healthcare providers or the insurance people. According to Washington Times, we believe the fact that these treatments are not widely covered is linked to general bias that obesity is a problem of willpower, not a medical condition that needs scientifically grounded treatment. Most of the people don't take obesity as a problem. They think it's just with your willpower, it's because of your psychology. It just depends on you. Well, that's not true. Same source cites that change public perception and understand that obesity is not a character flaw, but a complex disease involving genes, behavior, and environment would help approve these drugs. In order for this to work, we need to change the public perception and tell them that obesity is not just your problem, it's a problem of our body and how we work. Changing our people's perception would ensure healthcare providers and companies to cover these drugs, and that can benefit a lot of people. Second technique that FDA came up with is changing the food labels. This would give an impactful data to the consumers that are eating it. Just changing the font is one of them. This one has actually benefited a lot because now you're looking at a number that's actually helpful to you and not just random numbers that you don't even know what they mean. Pointing out calories with a different font, with a larger font, would tell you that this is the important part that you should look at while eating. The second way that the FDA changed the food label is changing the serving size. Before they used to add just like certain portion of the bottle or the container and serve the calories for that one. Now they use the whole bottle or the whole container that they're serving and they put the whole calories in there. So now if you're eating Cheez-Its or something, the calories that they put in is like 110, but that's only for like 10 pieces. If you eat the whole thing, that's almost around 300 calories, and you don't know that because most of us would eat Cheez-Its like in a go. The third and the most effective way are these devices that FDA came up with. The top one is a gastric band. That one limits the amount of food that you intake and increases the digestion time. So even if you eat little food, it will take more time to digest it so that you eat less food in given time. Second is a gastric balloon. They just literally fill up space in your stomach so that you don't eat too much food. They are mostly filled with gas or salt water depending on your input. Third one is a gastric emptying system. That's right there. They drain portion of stomach contents into receptacle 20 to 30 minutes after a meal. They're all implanted in you, so you don't have to worry about carrying it everywhere. And the last one is an electrical stimulation system that blocks nerve activity between brain and stomach. It is not medically proven how it helps us, but it has helped many people. Even after having so many resources, why are we not able to fight obesity and decrease the rates? Well, according to American Journal of Clinical Nutrition, fighting obesity is a joint effort for government, healthcare, consumer, producers, and sellers. FDA, or the government, has done their part, now it's our turn. Yes, it's not just about the willpower, but it is, because if you don't have the capacity to let go of some food or something, then it's not going to help you. Like they say, if you change nothing, nothing will change.
To summarize, obesity is a major growing problem in the United States. It is mainly caused due to lack of exercise, lack of knowledge of food, the prices of food, and your environment. Obesity rates have been growing every year. And the movie WALL-E shows us that if we don't take action, that would be the future that we're heading towards. And I know it may seem cool to have a chair that moves you around and does everything for you, but the downsides of obesity outweigh the positives of this inactive lifestyle. So we need to take action and follow the solutions that we mentioned in this presentation.